The Leafs starting a road trip, 4-game trip for them. Bernier, 16 wins on the season, goals against 2.73. He is the #1 guy, and he gets to start. Martin Jones backing up Jonathan Quick most of the year, 3 wins on the season, his goals against and save percentage. You see him right there. 2.32 and just over 90% in save percentage. Dave Jackson, Mark Jeanette, they're the referees. On the lines, Derek Amell and Don Henderson. Tonight's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Thanks for everything you do, and welcome to Kings Hockey. And right now, play-by-play Hall of Famer Bob Miller.
All right, Jim, thank you very much, and I echo your sentiments. Thanks to all of you military personnel, wherever you may be watching this game tonight, which is underway now, and Dion Phaneuf for the Maple Leafs back in his own zone. Puck comes up along the board, picked up by Gaborik with a shot, and a save made by Bernier. Puck is still in the Maple Leaf zone, dug out there and cleared up to center ice and chased down by Drew Doughty. Doughty for the Kings gets it over now to McNabb, and McNabb, the youngster, throws it in deep. Back in to get it, Cody Franson. He gave it away on the right wing boards to Kopitar. Now to Carter. Here's Carter, still with it. Feeds it to Doughty. Doughty down the right side. Doughty still with it. Doughty hanging on. His pass over in front. Shot, score! The Kings score. No, it came off.
They wave it off, Bob. Obviously, they will take a look. Kopitar thought it went into the underneath bar inside the net. The movement was exceptional there with Doughty jumping down, Carter moving around, and Kopitar, he thought he scored. Again, if they do figure out with replay that it is a goal, it would go up on the board, and the time would be put back on the clock.
Well, they will take a look at it, as Jim said, as soon as the whistle stops play.
Yeah, it looked to me like it was in. Kopitar, he's on the bench right now again. No one overreacts in this situation anymore because they know about the replay. I believe the Kings have a 1-0 lead.
Kings have it again, a shot from the blue line, and it is deflected, and we'll take a look and see. Did Kopitar, there he is, he's going to take a look at it on the Jumbotron.
It's in, Bob. It's going to be in. I mean, just by his reaction on the ice, we'll take a look. Bernier has to follow on. You have traffic in the front right there with Gaborik. It's underneath. It hits the camera again. We have another camera goal. I think that's going to be the case. Up underneath, inside, tough to see right there. Right in here. Look at the puck. Yeah, the puck hits the camera. The Kings will have a 1-0 lead. What a shift to start. I mean, everyone was moving around. The movement by Doughty, Bob, down low. Carter drew 2 defenders to him. Actually, 2 Maple Leafs bumped into each other on the play. And Doughty was able to sneak down back door. And Andrei Kopitar gets the smile on the bench because he knows, here it is.
Cross the goal line, we have a good goal.
Now, the way it develops, it seems like a break. It's not a break. It's a goal. I mean, it was a goal. It was set up. The movement was there. Everything worked well. But because you have the uncertainty on the ice, you can't blame a referee in that situation. That's so difficult to see, especially with the camera. And we've seen that now twice at Staples Center. But the Kings get the shift they want. They load up that top line. Kings lead 1-0.
Kopitar with his 10th goal of the year, his 20th point in the last 12 games, 7th point in the last 4 games, and the Kings get a quick goal and they lead it 1-0. Puck comes all the way back down. Now they got to put that time back up on the clock, the time that the goal was scored, because play had continued. Now a shot is knocked into the corner by Bernier and picked up by Williams. Williams gives it to Brown. Brown put it back behind the net. Kings pinching down the left side is Schultz. Schultz holds it in. Schultz put it down into the corner, and now behind the net, it's picked up there, and the Maple Leafs, Morgan Riley, a young 20-year-old, gets it to the blue line and tipped away from him and taken back now by the Maple Leafs, Roman Polak. Now they announce the goal to Andrei Kopitar. Kings take it away, and they stay onside. Down the middle, shot just wide to the right by Lewis. He got a lot on that, too.
Because of the turnover, Bob, the Maple Leafs were flat-footed right there, and they couldn't do anything but back up.
Now the Kings back across the line again. Out to the left point. Driven wide by Richards. Richards is on with Lewis. And the Maple Leafs dig it out. And it's poked up ahead to center ice. Into the Kings zone. Down the left side. Hard check along the boards there. And the puck comes down into the corner. And Lewis going for it. Over to try and get a hold of it is Muzzin. And it comes out to the point to Gardner. And his shot is knocked down. The Kings have it again. Sent deep into the Maple Leaf zone. So the Kings get the goal from Kopitar, from Doughty and Carter at 37 seconds into the first period. Maple Leafs take it away, back behind the King net. On the right side to the blue line it goes. A shot from there is wide. Rebound off the boards taken by the Kings. The shot was by Roman Polak, and the Kings took it away. And now in deep, here is Andy Andrioff going for it. He passes in front, comes out to the right point to Doughty. Doughty shoots, blocked. Doughty again, right side, gives it to Andrioff. Andrioff turns, shoots, tipped in front, and a save made. It was tipped by Clifford, and the save made by Bernier.
Now that fourth line gets on the ice, makes it happen. Back to the goal and the move by the Kings. You have Carter going one way, and then you have Doughty going around the other way. Of course, you have in front of the net. That's where Marian Gaborik goes. With all that misdirection, you saw two of the Leafs bump into each other. Gaborik never leaves the front of the net. When the puck ends up there, you're going to stop here, guys. Look at Gaborik. He's making it so difficult for the Leafs and the goaltender to find it. Kopitar finds it right to the top. Kings lead 1-0.
Doughty getting his 23rd assist of the season, and he's got 14 points in his last 15 games. Carter getting an assist, his 20th of the year, as we get an icing call here. So Carter now 12 points in the last 12 games.
Yeah, when the last time Kopitar played with Carter and Gaborik, he talked about spacing. He talked about a comfort feeling of finding spots on the ice far enough away from each other to open up spots, but not too close to crowd each other. And that's the way those three guys approach it. They want to help, but they also know the other guy can do it.
Kings win the draw, and a shot by the Kings from the blue line as wide as comes back out to center ice and picked up there and driven right back into the Maple Leaf zone. Phaneuf down into the corner. And it's taken by the Maple Leafs and cleared back out to center ice. Kings back to play it there, but the Leafs take it away and they come across the line. Poke checked away, and Leafs have it back out at center ice. So Martinez getting a shot moments ago, and it was wide. Now it's driven down in by James Van Riemsdyk into the Kings zone. He is tied in goals with Kessel coming in 8th most in the NHL. Pass on the right side to Carter. Carter in deep, throws it over on the left wing. Played there along the boards and held in for a moment by Gaborik, but now taken away by the Maple Leafs and cleared into to the King blue line and taken by Stoll for the Kings over to Muzzin. Jarrett Stoll up to center ice. Flipped it off the boards and up out of play with 16:11 to go in the first period. Kings lead at 1-0.
Hyundai keys to the game. A lot of times, Bob, when I do the keys, it applies to one team or the other. These three keys apply to both teams tonight because chemistry, the Kings have issues with injuries. They've got to come together. Maple Leafs, they've got a new coach. They're moving things around. Structure, the Leafs want to play that way. The Kings are known for playing that way. The possession game. The Kings still possess the puck quite a bit. And again, with Toronto, that's what they're trying to become, more of a possession team. Real deep matchup tonight.
Kings win the draw, but a penalty coming up here, and it is going to be against the Maple Leafs right off the face-off. High stick is the call, and the Kings are going to go on the power play with a 1-0 lead.
You have Clarkson and Brown kind of fencing with each other before the puck is dropped, and you're trying to figure out. There's Peter Horchek behind the bench taking over the Maple Leafs and trying to kind of just create a new identity. It's right in here with Brown, and there's jostling back and forth, and then bang, there it is, off the visor. Dustin Brown takes one there, takes one for the team. A little bit too aggressive by Clarkson. A chance here for the Kings early on. Specialty teams get them going on that power play. Been working very well of late.
Kings at home recently on the power play, 25.6%. So they've been pretty good recently at home on the power play. But now the Maple Leafs, they've got 6 shorthanded goals, tied for first in the league. They come into the Kings zone. A shot is wide to the right side. And the Kings pick it up in their own zone.
Kopitar had to get back there and play defense on the power play just because of the way things happened in the offensive zone. Great job on the angle.
Muzzin sends it over to Kopitar. Kopitar to Muzzin. Muzzin drives it down in deep, taken away there, and Phaneuf for the Maple Leafs clears it all the way back into the Kings zone. Toronto's penalty killing, 13th in the league, and they are dangerous shorthanded. Kings bring it up to center ice. Doughty fires it hard off the boards. It caroms around into the corner. Now behind the net. Battle for it there. Comes back over to Williams. Williams gets checked, and the Leafs dig it out, and they bring it back to center ice. Sent down the left side and down in deep into the zone. And it's taken by the Kings, and they move it up ahead to center ice now on the right side. Kings across the line. Down in deep. Here is Brown. Brown down into the corner. Gets help from Richards. Now to Brown. Brown back to the blue line. Martinez gets it off to the right side. Comes back off the stick there of Richards along the boards. Richards gets it. Now back to the point again. Kings moving it around. Comes back over on the right wing side. Taken by Richards. Throws it down in deep. Kings trying to get a pass up the middle. They do. Taken there and a pass over to Martinez. He couldn't get a shot. He gets checked along the boards there. Hard check on Martinez. He gets up and tries to hold it in. He did to Richards. Richards sends it around the boards. Out to Stoll at the right point. Stoll sends it down in deep. Now pass on the right side. Blocked. Up the middle. Williams shot. Up high and wide to the right and batted out to the right side and held in by Stoll.
Good energy on the power play. No shots yet, but good energy.
Here's Williams, left side, on the man advantage to Martinez. His shot is deflected behind the net, and the Maple Leafs have killed it off. They're back at full strength, but the Kings still have it in the Maple Leaf zone. Right side, Doughty off the bench. Doughty down in deep, makes a move. Still has it. To Doughty on the right side in the Maple Leaf zone. He drops it off there, and a shot is knocked down, and the rebound batted away. The shot from the right side is coming in was Andrioff.
And a little action in front. Franzen and Brown. Brown loses his helmet. Now Irving jumps in. Doughty dumps in to help the captain. Andrioff will be there too. So we've had a little physicality going on with Dustin Brown. Of course, took the high stick. Really like that power play, Bob. The second unit got on there. Everyone interchanging positions. I know they didn't score, but certainly the momentum stays with the Kings and the energy levels there. Kings have a 1-0 lead. Coincidental minors. Not coincidental because they just kind of happened. I think both guys were going at it pretty good. You'll see the jostling with Dustin Brown. The puck's in the air, and those sticks always kind of create some attention. Couple Leafs come in. Booth's going to end up with a roughing call. Brown, you saw the slash by Brown. Booth's not happy. Robitaille ends up getting involved with Brown. And everyone finally gets together and helps out, gets a dance partner, and when you sort it all out, one slash, one rough, and we're skating 4-on-4.
Well, these two teams are 1-2 in hits in the National Hockey League. Toronto leads with 1,339. The Kings are second with 1,327. So we could see some heavy hits in this game tonight. 4-on-4 skating now as play resumes. Kings with a 1-0 lead on a goal by Kopitar 37 seconds into the game. Now Kopitar with it at center ice. Throws it over to Muzzin. Here's Muzzin, Maple Leaf zone, back to Kopitar. Kopitar driving in deep. Kopitar still with it. All the way to the blue line. Gives it over now to Doughty. He spins away from a check. Then it's taken away. Looking for a shorthander. Tyler Bozak. Doughty gets back and checks Bozak and takes the puck away, and then it makes a hand pass. Legal in the
defensive zone, Bob, but the puck ended up being received in the neutral zone. You're on top of it, Bob. It happened right there where Doughty wanted to get it going because he loses his stick. There's the strip by Bozak. Now watch Doughty get back in position, takes the angle. The angle's proper. When he ends up losing the stick right there, hand, and there's the reception. So if Kopitar could have slowed down or stopped, he would have been able to keep going. But if he does that, he no longer has the 2-on-1.
I think I mentioned looking for a shorthander, but it's not. It's still 4-on-4 skating right now. Puck is back at the blue line. King zone. Maple Leafs with it. Pass into Tyler Bozak. Bozak with a wraparound. Shoots, and it's just wide to the right. Rebound off the boards into the corner, and the Kings trying to get possession of it. Maple Leafs come in, send it into the corner, and Martinez back to get it for the Kings. He dropped it off, and it comes over to Gaborik. Gaborik checked down in deep by Cody Franzen, but he gets it over to Martinez. He didn't clear. Shot is steered away by Jones. Now picked up and in front. It's tipped up and high and wide by Van Riemsdyk. Kings back up to center ice. Pass over left side. Cut off there, and all the way back to the blue line is Gaborik. Gaborik hangs on to it, still has it. Right on the line, he gets knocked down by Franzen, and Franzen picks it up for the Maple Leafs in his own zone. Kings are changing on the fly. Maple Leafs with it 36 seconds ago in the 4-on-4. Down the right side, thrown in deep by Santorelli, and comes around to the Kings. They reverse it over now to Braden McNabb. McNabb put it behind the net. Doughty gets into some trouble there, but he gets away from it and throws it behind the net again.
Doughty with McNabb to start the game. But we saw at the end of the last game, Bob, Doughty and Muzzin ended up being paired together late in the third.
Here's Dwight King for the Kings in the zone. His shot wide and off the boards, back behind the net. Stoll trying to pick it up. King comes in to try and get it. Maple Leafs have it though, and they shovel it up ahead now to Mike Santorelli. Both teams back at full strength. Santorelli into the zone, left side. He throws it down toward the corner, and the Kings take it away and get it back out to center ice and all the way down to the Maple Leaf zone. And we're going to get an icing call here. Santorelli playing in his 300th NHL game tonight.
Bob, I'm getting a lot of questions on Twitter about what would have happened if the Kings would have scored again after Kopitar's goal, or what happens if the Leafs would have scored. None of the goals would have counted except the first one. The only thing that stays on the board are penalties, because you don't want to have a free whack at something like that. So a penalty would stay on the board, but the goals would not count after the initial one when you go back on the replay.
Now the puck taken by the Kings in their own zone, and Muzzin sends it around the boards, and it is held in by Kessel, but now taken by the Kings. Back up to center ice they come. Taken away in the neutral zone by Robidas for Toronto. And a pass is knocked down and taken by Brown. Brown gets it up the center, chased down by Andy Andrioff, and he gets to it, so there's no icing here. Andrioff with it. Left wing corner. Check there. Andrioff throws it down in deep, and the puck comes off of Andrioff and going to be taken by the Maple Leafs. The last time that Andrioff played was December 30th at Edmonton. That was his only game since the 31st of October. Puck is in the Maple Leaf zone. Kings dig it out again. Pass to the blue line, never got there. Taken by Toronto. Here's Kessel, right wing. His shot blocked by Schultz. Schultz in to get it, didn't clear it out. Got it to the blue line. Now it's held in again at the blue line. Right side, Maple Leafs with it. Shot wide to the right side. A hard shot to the right side by Morgan Rielly. Now into the corner, Leafs with it again, trailing 1-0 here in the first period. Leafs pass, right side, played there by Santorelli, gives it up the middle, a shot knocked away there, and that shot by the Maple Leafs by Leo Komarov. And it's taken by Clifford. Clifford gets it up to the blue line and out to center ice. Kyle Clifford is going to be 24 years old tomorrow. Now in hard check right there by Doughty. Knocks Santorelli down into the corner. That gets the crowd reaction. Now a shot tipped up the middle. Picked up by the Kings, and here's Dwight King.
Talk about taking up a step another way. Doughty has an assist on the goal for the Kings. He has a huge hit right there. That's one part of the game with Drew Doughty this year that people don't necessarily talk about. He's become a leader on this team in a lot of different ways. And one way is what just happened right there, where the game is kind of settling down, and Drew Doughty says, oh no, it's not going to settle down. He's going to come right across and make it happen. Santorelli thought he had time, and Doughty, everything here on the hit is clean. You can see that. The elbows tucked, the shoulders down. There's no chance of even a head contact whatsoever. But you can see ready to shoot. He was in possession of the puck, Santorelli. He just received the pass. So good reaction right there by Doughty. You talk about closing a gap. You can't do it any better than that.
Faceoff moves down after the icing into the Maple Leaf zone. Kopitar will take the draw. Santorelli in his 7th year out of Northern Michigan University. The puck is picked up now by Morgan Rielly. Got it up ahead to center ice. Clarkson drives it back into the King zone.
You see with that Morgan Rielly, Bob, young player, 20 years old. He's a defenseman, but he's a dancer. He can skate as well as any defenseman I've seen in the league, and that's not an exaggeration. Real good wheels.
Gaborik gives it to Carter. Carter across the line. Now Gaborik shoots just wide. Rebound. Gaborik went for it, didn't get it. Maple Leafs pick it up, and now it's taken away by the Kings, but a pass back to the point comes all the way back into the King zone. Quick is out to leave it there for Green. Green to Muzzin. Now it comes over to Kopitar. He's got the goal for the Kings tonight. 37 seconds after the opening faceoff. Kings with a 1-0 lead. Here is Muzzin to center ice. Sends it around the boards, right side. Kicked down behind the net. You wonder why they play soccer before the game. Up the middle, Brown shoots, and a save by Bernier. Brown going for it again down in the corner. Brown throws a check there. Knocks down Kadri. Brown gets a stick on it again, but his pass taken away and cleared up to center, where Muzzin takes it and shoots it right back in.
So the Kings have the 1-0 lead. The most impressive thing right now, the Maple Leafs only with one shot on goal. The Kings, if they're going to win, they're going to have to shore up and tighten up the defense, and so far they're doing that.
Leafs back up to center ice and into the King zone. Sent down in deep and behind the King net. Schultz digs it out. Kings have possession of it. Almost taken away by Kessel. Back come the Kings to center ice, and Williams sends it deep into the Maple Leaf zone. The Kings last year were the best defensive team in the NHL. Coming into the game tonight, they are 13th. And we get an icing call against the Maple Leafs.
Peter Horachek behind the bench once again. Players are saying he's asking for more feedback from the players. He's talking to them more, but of course he's trying to build responsibility. He's trying to build trust, those types of things. He says it's going to take time. It's a process. He also understands that, you know, this team does have to tighten things up. I've seen a few examples already, Bob, in this period where they're really collapsing down to the front of the net. All 5 men to try to help out.
Well, the Maple Leafs come in 6th in the Atlantic Division. They are 10th in the East, and they are 17th overall. So they've got to get back into a playoff spot. Puck comes down the middle, in front, tipped wide to the left side. Good movement right in front, but it was tipped wide by Tyler Bozak.
You have the kind of the first line on the ice right there for the Maple Leafs, and kind of the fourth line for the Kings. And that time right there with Winnick and Bozak, and a lot of speed right there. Kessel has the puck now.
Kessel moved it to the blue line, then he got his stick on it again. Now it's sent down into the King zone. Chased down into the right wing corner, and a pass back up the middle, taken there, and a shot by Gardner is blocked by Nolan. Jordan Nolan over to get it, and he clears it back out to center ice. Leafs back in their own zone to pick it up. Toronto defensively 25th in the league. They give up just a tick over 3 goals a game. 6:49 to go here in the first period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. Welcome all of you wherever you may be listening around the world tonight. Puck taken at center, and the Leafs get it, but a hand pass going to be called here with 6:38 to go. We talked about both of these teams 1-2 in the league in hits, and here's one by Drew Doughty on Santorelli.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Patrick O'Neill. Time for the Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Seems like we always have close games going on in the NHL and in the playoff chase. 23 teams within 8 points of a playoff berth. Over 62% of games this season have been tied or within 1 goal entering the third. That's just a piece of evidence which points to this being a very exciting league. Unfortunately, Bob and Jim, the Kings in too many close games and going to overtime or shootouts. They have 10 losses, most in the league. Back to you.
Yeah, with the rule changes that took place a while ago now, another icing here against the Maple Leafs. The one thing that's happened is you see lead changes. You know, 2-0 lead early, 3-0 lead early. Not necessarily going to do it. We've seen that many times with the Kings recently, mostly in the comebacks. Then in third period, it used to be, Bob, remember the Devils winning the Cups and all those. You have a 1-goal lead, you lock it down, you win. Not the case anymore. So you saw how close it is, how fun it is, how exciting it is, because now you don't know what's going to happen.
Want to wish Darrell Evans, the radio color commentator, happy birthday. Bailey was just up here with a birthday cake, and Darrell was serenaded by Who's Your Daddy? They did the anthem here tonight and did a good job. So happy birthday, Darrell Evans. Kings come back in the zone. Pass over to Gabrick, just tipped away from him. Gabrick put it down into the corner of the Maple Leaf zone. Now he goes for it again. Gabrick gets checked there by Dion Phaneuf. Kopitar trying to dig it out. Leafs have it, and it is picked up now and chased down into the corner there, and the Leafs get to it, and they bring it back out to center ice. Kadri got back for the Maple Leafs, and it's cleared down into the right wing corner now. Kings with a 1-0 lead late in the first period. Kings bring it back to center. Here's Carter. He snaps a shot from center ice, and a save made by Jonathan Bernier, the former King. He's in goal tonight for the Maple Leafs. Bernier, 2.73 goals against and a .916 goals against average coming in. Now it's flipped up in the air by Tyler Bozak into the Kings zone. Kings back to get it. Toronto beat the Kings earlier this year in Toronto in a shootout 4-3. Puck is back in the Maple Leaf zone, and now they bring it up to center ice. Pass though is tipped away, and the Kings bring it to the blue line and can't get it across the line. The Maple Leafs have it back in their own zone. That game on December 14th at Toronto, Maple Leafs 4, Kings 3. Joffrey Lupul got the shootout goal, but he is injured and not in the game tonight.
A reminder about all fans in attendance at the Kings game on January 14th. That's against the Devils coming up. Receive a Jeff Carter mini stick presented by Mercury Insurance Company. You can visit LAKings.com/mini-stick to learn how you can get the limited edition platinum mini stick set featuring Anze Kopitar and an opportunity to win playoff tickets. So Kopi has the goal, and he's got the stick.
Mike Richards out for the faceoff here. This is his 700th NHL game tonight, and he's played 220 consecutive NHL games. That leads the Kings team. They don't drop the puck. Faked everybody out. Now they get set again. Bozak on the faceoff of the Maple Leafs against Mike Richards of the Kings in the Maple Leaf zone. And the Maple Leafs win the draw, but the Kings chase it down behind the net. Lewis couldn't get there, but now it comes over on the left side. Held in and fought for by King. Puck is taken by the Leafs and cleared up to center ice, and a bouncing puck taken away there by Green. Matt Green puts it deep into the zone, and Richards in to try and get to it. Now down the left side is Muzzin. He gives it there, and on the left side to Richards, but his pass tipped out to center. Now the Kings have to get back. Here's Kessel. He's dangerous. He shoots, and it's knocked away into the corner. Boy, that's his prime scoring area.
You just know, once he gets over the blue line, Bob, he is a threat to score. It becomes a quality chance because of who it is when Phil Kessel has the puck with speed.
Kings back in their own zone. Here is Dwight King. He got checked there, and the puck comes right back to King. Now the Kings have a chance to move it up to center, and they do. Jordan Nolan put it across the line. 4 minutes to go in the first period. Leafs back in to get it. They get it up the right side, and a check throw there on Brody. Puck is back in the blue line now and taken by the Leafs. Deep into the zone and played around the boards by Bernier. Leafs get possession again. The Leafs on the road this year, 23rd in the league. Now we're going to get a scrap. Clifford out at center ice.
It was Brody. Remember earlier, Bob Clifford knocked Brody down, and Brody went to Clifford right away, wanted to scrap. Clifford didn't want a part of it then, but again, later on in the shift, both guys end up getting together. Now, Brody's bigger than Clifford, but no one's heart is bigger than Kyle Clifford. And right there at the end, Kyle Clifford goes with about 3 straight rights. So it took a while for that to develop. And Brody wanted it right away. He ends up getting it from Clifford. So Clifford doing the job for the Kings, taking the body and dropping the gloves. Kings lead 1-0. Time now for tonight's Mercedes-Benz Star Watch, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz dealers of Southern California. Franson for the Maple Leafs. Since Randy Carlyle has been let go, I think Franson has really stepped up as the leader. His public comments, what the team needs, all those types of things, doing it there. Real good on the ice, too. Martin Jones gets his first start, you see, back since December 12th, so we'll be watching him. Made that big save on Kessel, that last one. Bodie, Clifford, 5 minutes each for fighting. Took a while to get going. Franson, Jones, they've got a matchup right now. Franson's got a real good shot, too.
Now the face-off in the King zone, picked up by Santorelli. Still has it, throws it in front. It comes wide to the right, out of the reach of Clarkson. Troy Bodie and Clifford get 5 minutes each for fighting at 16:26. Puck comes to the blue line. Leafs try to hold it in. They do. In deep here is Santorelli with a shot, and it went wide to the left. Leafs have it again, but now give it away on a pass to Gabrick. Gabrick got it up to center ice. Carter now off the stick of Kopitar. He chased it across the blue line, but the Leafs break it up.
There's another example there of the Leafs doing a better job coming back. There was a transition game taking place there with the Kings with speed, and they get all 5 men back to help. We've got a lot of the Leafs fan catches a puck here at Staples Center. Daryl Sutter looking on behind the bench, talking about the situation with Pearson and Toffoli and Bergier, all that. He says it's up to some guys that may be moaning about their ice time. Now they're going to get it. It's about veterans that are going to be maybe placed into new positions, new circumstances. They've got to come together. So everyone treats it the same way. Everyone goes through this at some point or another during the regular season in the NHL. You've got to find ways with other out guys in the lineup. And it's just a matter of one guy slipping into a spot and trying to get to the same page as quick as possible.
He didn't say moaning about it, did he? But that's what he meant.
I heard him say it earlier. I wouldn't say it, but he did.
Back behind the King net. It's sent around the boards by Schultz. Schultz goes for it after the Kings lose possession, get it back again, and the pass up the left side, and now the Kings to center ice. Here is Williams. Over, offside, and a shot, a save anyway, and a shot
They're talking
a couple
about
seconds after the whistle.
Yeah, Bob, I think they're going to bring it outside now. It was offside. They did not blow it down initially. They didn't, but then they made kind of amends for what they thought was going on.
So maybe Brown was right. He didn't hear the whistle. He took the shot.
And the whistle did not go, but they missed it. I think it was Stoll who picked up his foot. That was his back foot at the same time the puck was going over the line. That forced the offside, but then no one blew it down. That goes in. I think the referees and the linesmen get together and say offside, and they may not count it.
Puck comes into the King zone. A shot from the right side and a save made in the rebound. Leafs again. Van Riemsdyk shoots, and it's wide off the boards. Back out to the right point. Held in there by Stefan Robida. Taken by Matt Green. Green put it behind the net over to Muzzin. Minute 45 left to go in the first period. 1-0 Kings. Kings have the puck, and it is cleared up ahead to center ice to Brown. Brown with a hard check there. He ran right into Stefan Robida, the veteran, and knocked the stick out of his hand as he knocked Robida down.
A little cold shoulder there by Dustin Brown because Brown had possession of the puck, had just dumped it in, and was expecting to check. He was ready. Robida was not.
Kings with it again, down the right side, Maple Leaf zone. Still the 1-0 lead. Doughty shoots and a save and a rebound. Kings again. Lewis shoots and a glove save by Bernier.
Yeah, the Kings buzzing around. The Leafs have put on some pressure here of late. I mean, they have, and then the Kings come right back and get a quality chance. Look at Brown, head up, so he knows that he accelerates into the check. So there's a lot of times in that situation where you try to get out of the way. Look at Dustin, he says, no, I know you're coming. And you don't see Robida caught like that too often. He was kind of caught off guard, so we'll keep an eye on that. When Brown went off earlier with his penalty, Robida was involved too. Didn't get a penalty himself. It was Booth who picked it up, but those guys have come together a couple times already.
Now the Leafs have it in their own zone, and here is Dion Phaneuf. Phaneuf, 10th year, number 1 pick by Calgary in 2003. Puck comes to him at center ice, and he drives it into the King zone. 1 minute left to play here in the first period. Puck is dug out. The Leafs have only 3 shots. The fewest number of shots the Kings have allowed this year was 1 against the Edmonton Oilers on December 30th. Still a battle for it in the King zone. And it is sent behind the net. Picked up there by Kessel. His pass in front. Kings didn't get it. Now a shot by Franzen. Tipped down into the corner. Kings battle for it with 30 seconds to go in the period. Comes over toward Doughty, but Kessel is there for the Maple Leafs.
Well, the Leafs a little bit more aggressive in the last 10 minutes.
Kessel, he gets knocked out of the corner by McNabb. McNabb went down too. Kings trying to get control of it. They don't do it yet. Maple Leafs still have it. Kessel puts it down in deep, right side. Taken there and back toward the blue line by the Maple Leafs as they hold it in. Now it's driven down the right side by Tyler Bozak. Comes around the boards, and that is the end of the first period. The Kings allow only 3 shots on goal. The Kings get 7. The Kings score 37 seconds after the opening faceoff. Kopitar is 10th from Doughty and Carter.
A lot of times when the Kings say only allow that many shots, 3, you'd say they dominated. I don't think that was the case. I think it was a pretty tight period, pretty close period. And again, the Maple Leafs were a little bit more aggressive later on. The Kings come together and make sure the puck stays on the outside. So pretty good D from both teams. 1-0 Kings.
Well, Drew Doughty has an assist in the first period, and for Drew Doughty, 14th point in the last 15 games, and he'll chat with Jim Fox after this. Kings Hockey is brought to you by Subaru. Test drive the all-new 2015 Subaru Outback or go to Subaru.com to learn more. And by Jack in the Box. The Chipotle Chicken Club Combo is back at Jack in the Box for a limited time.
Welcome back to Staples Center. Of course, the Kings with a 1-0 lead over the Maple Leafs. On Twitter, Bob, at BobKnob 2.0, pointed out to me that the under-18 women's U.S. team has beaten Canada in the World Championship. So congratulations. Caleb Barnes, a member of that team. So just want to send out that congratulations. Of course, in the Junior Worlds for the under-20 men's, it was Canada over Russia. But congratulations, Team USA.
Well, we echo those thoughts. Good win for the U.S. women's team. Congratulations. Second period ready to begin here with the Kings up 1-0. We have a Kings fan, Andrea Hooper, her son Craig. They are such great Kings fans. Andrea was taken to the hospital early this morning. We understand things are a little more stable now. We wish them both the best of luck. Puck is taken now by the Maple Leafs as we start period number 2. Here's Phaneuf getting it up to center and all the way down into the King zone where Kopitar brings it up to center. Here's Kopitar across the line to Carter, shoots, saved by Bernier, sliding out to his left, up the middle. Kings with it again, a backhander wide to the left side, picked up by Gaborik. Gaborik checked along the boards. Leafs tip it away and bring it back out to center ice. Thrown down into the King zone and Drew Doughty back to get it. Doughty checked in the corner there by Kadri. Nazem Kadri trying to get it. Leafs do have possession of it now. Pass down in deep on the left side, and the Leafs move it around in the King zone. Back behind the net. McNabb trying to take it away from Van Riemsdyk. Van Riemsdyk to the blue line. Picked up by Morgan Riley. He threw it behind the net. Comes around the boards and chipped out to center by Gaborik. And this is going to be an icing call against the Kings.
We're back to our Star Watch. But Cody Franson had 8 minutes and 20 seconds of ice time in period number 1. Drew Doughty didn't get to the 8-minute mark. He was 3 seconds under that. But Franson, you see the time on ice. Jones was not busy with the 3 saves. And again, even though the Kings only allowed 3 shots, there's a better feeling, at least in that period, around the Maple Leafs. They're much more in control, much more sensible in their own zone, not running around and getting back to help out the goaltender.
Franson, a defenseman with 27 points. He's got 6 points in the last 7 games, and the puck goes out of play here.
And again, he's become a vocal leader. He talked about his team and, the message they got. They just had to grow up. They had a meeting with Brendan Shanahan, who's now the president of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he just came out. He didn't call out guys. He actually created, a unified dressing room for the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's Peter Horchak once again behind the bench and just trying to settle things down. And that word control came to mind for me in the first period with the Toronto Maple Leafs. There's Brendan up here at Staples Center. Dave Nonis on his right, the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So trailing by 1, but good control there in the first period.
Leafs have it again now in the Toronto zone and moved up ahead to center and then off a skate there and picked up by the Kings back across the line, right side, down into the corner. Williams trying to get to it. Puck taken away by Toronto and they can't clear. Held in by Schultz. His shot blocked and back to the blue line, and Kessel brings it up to center. He gets hit by Schultz, or he threw a check at Schultz, and the Kings have it though. Pass on the right side here in deep. Kings with it now, and a pass up the middle and a shot from there in front, and saved by Bernier and then deflected up out of play.
Yeah, traffic again. That's so important. The Kings have another good start to a period. Certainly a good start in the first period. Same thing here coming up later. Carl Jr. Sports Update. When you bring up the trophy Norris, that man's name is being thrown around. And it should be. Everything he's done in his career, but this year with his team and all the ice time he's had to log, more so than Daryl Sutter wants. But under the circumstances and injuries and youth and those types of things, Drew Doughty doing as much as he can for this team.
Komarov on the draw for the Maple Leafs, and he wins the faceoff with Lewis, and the Leafs get it up ahead to center ice. Kings have a 1-0 lead. Down the right wing side, a good check thrown there along the boards. The Kings trying to get possession of it, and they don't clear it out. Held in by Jake Gardner at the blue line. His pass taken away by the Kings and cleared out to center ice now by Trevor Lewis. Now thrown right back into the King zone, and back in to get it is Matt Green. Green checked down in the corner. Now Richards barrels in to help out. Puck comes loose, and the Kings are going to be able to clear it up to center ice, and just do as it's sent across the line there by Dwight King. Now taken by Santorelli. He feeds it over left side, and a shot from there is just wide and off the boards. Played there, the shot by Komarov. Now an injured Leaf. Komarov down on the ice and slow getting up.
And interference is going to be the call against the Kings. Matt Green slowly skating over. Komarov. Looks like the right arm, right shoulder, right something. Of course, just the way he's kind of dangling it at the same time. You never know, he might be reaching into the other side there. So puck goes in deep. Green turns, makes contact. Yeah, the puck is there, picked up by Green's partner, Jake Muzzin. It's probably more sliding into the boards right here. See him go down and then, well, maybe Muzzin going by too, then contact with the boards. We'll see it right there. Yeah, that's what it was right there. You see the neck maybe. In the head, a lot of things going on there. Maybe he has one of those stingers they call, when you crunch your neck or your arm and all of a sudden you have something shooting down your arm and you can't figure it out. Green goes to the box, 2 minutes interference, chance here for the Leafs to tie it up.
And the Leafs on the power play, 9th best, tied for 9th best in the league at 20.7. They were 1 of 3 in the previous game against the Kings in Toronto. Face off in the Kings zone. Kessel is out. Van Riemsdyk leads them in power play goals with 8. And off the draw here, the Kings win the face-off, and they don't clear it out. Held in now. Here's Phaneuf at the blue line. Back over to Kessel. Phil Kessel. His pass down in deep, taken behind the net by Tyler Bozak. Back to Kessel. Kessel to Bozak. Bozak to Phaneuf. He broke his stick on the shot, and the puck is taken by the Kings. Stole, and he cleared it out to center ice.
Yeah, he only had one option there without the stick. He had to kick it because it's the offensive zone. Can't play with a hand, can't hold on. The kick didn't work, and the Kings clear the zone.
Now Franzen brings it up to the blue line. He dropped it back, and the Leafs on the power play get it to Kessel. Now over to Franzen. Into the Kings zone. Van Riemsdyk on the left side. He gets checked there. The puck comes around the boards. Kings try to get possession of it. Bozak goes for it. Kings take it away, and it's cleared back into the Maple Leaf zone. Cleared there by McNabb.
And one of the foundation pieces for the Kings would be an element like this on the penalty kill. It's part of the defensive part of the game. You want to get that together. The Kings have to improve there.
Here is Phaneuf across the line with 53 seconds to go in the power play. Martinez gets to it. McNabb trying to get it. Now it comes free to Martinez. He's got some time to clear. Chipped it off the glass and out to center ice. Kings with it now across the line. Carter on the right wing. Carter shoots, and a save by Bernier. And back come the Leafs. Up to center ice. Phil Kessel across the line. Van Riemsdyk, across the line. Throws it down into the corner. Leafs on the power play. Kings had a great chance there, but Bernier made the save. Now up the middle, pass back on the right side again, and a shot up high and off the glass and out of play. With 21 seconds to go in the King penalty.
Leafs dangerous there with the guys in the proper position on your off wing, taking it to the middle. No shots yet for Toronto. So look at these specialty teams. Since back in December on the 18th. Since then, the power play second best in the NHL. That's great. That's phenomenal. But again, the bigger part of the Kings foundation is more than the defensive side of the play. And you can see how far the penalty kill has slumped since then. So you want everything to be working. You want to have the balance. But I think most people believe the Kings are going to get back on their game. It has to start with the defense.
Face-off will be in the Kings zone to the left of Martin Jones in goal tonight for the Kings. Kadri on the draw, and he gets it back to the right point. Held in there by Gardner. To Nazem Kadri. Kadri back to Gardner. Gardner at the blue line. Slides it over left side. Here's Morgan Rielly. His shot knocked down in front. Loose puck. Saved by Quick. Or excuse me, by Jones.
It looked like Jonathan Quick. the type of saves that Jonathan makes. And again, there's usually a difference in styles between Martin Jones and Jonathan Quick. But watch this here. Deflected to the other side. Watch Jones go out and get this one. Look at him smother it. And he may have gotten that right in the glove. But he has to reach across and out. Yeah, that's a great look right there. That's what you have to do in that circumstance. You've got to smother the plate. Don't give time or room for the player to put it up top. Big glove save there.
Now face off in the King zone again. 4 seconds is all that remains in the power play for the Maple Leafs.
One thing that has dropped too, Bob, is the save percentage on penalty kills. So, everything, you have to talk about everything. There's been numerous defensive breakdowns, but also you need great goaltending when you're killing penalties. And Mark Jones comes up with a big save right there.
Tyler Bozak out of the University of Denver was set to take the faceoff, but now going to not allow David Booth to come onto the ice. He tried to come on for this faceoff, and they said he's got to go back to the bench. They win the draw anyway. Puck is taken to the left side by Rielly. His shot wide, and deflects out of play, and 1 second remains in the King penalty.
Well, it's on the clock at 1 second. Matt Green is going across, and he says no, he's got to come back. They're kind of figuring it out right now. Andy up with cost-down rivals, Kings, Ducks, No Limit, Texas Hold'em Poker Tournament, San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino, Thursday, March 19th. Buy-in is only $25. Proceeds, Kings Care Foundation. LAKings.com/poker. You must be 21 years of age or older. Now the referee, Dave Jackson, in the background skating over to the Maple Leafs. Because on the clock, Bob, there was 1 second remaining in the penalty. Now, of course, they keep official time also going, where you have Peter Horchek just wants, it's an end zone face-off, so that 1 second could make a difference. 1 second on the clock, 3 seconds to get back in the zone. That's about 4 or 5 seconds, and maybe have a chance to score. Not the case here. Both teams even strength.
Took that second off the clock, and as Jim said, each team at full strength. Puck comes down into the Maple Leaf zone, chased in by Carter. Carter's got an assist tonight. Puck taken by Kopitar. Kopitar tried to pass in front to Carter, but it was blocked into the boards and cleared up to center ice now and down into the King zone by Daniel Winnick. Kings get to it. Winnick almost took it away, but it slapped back out to center ice, and Dion Phaneuf back to get it. The Kings starting the game tonight, 4th in the Pacific Division, 8th in the West, 17th overall. Kings have the final wild card playoff spot in the West. Phaneuf with a high shot up and over the net. Puck along the boards on the left wing, and now driven around the right side to Dion Phaneuf. Phaneuf put it down into Santorelli. He didn't get it. Booth goes for it. Back to Santorelli. Santorelli gets checked there in the corner by Doughty. Santorelli still with it all the way back to the blue line. Backhands it down into the corner. Braden McNabb goes for it for the Kings. Now his pass along the boards. Chipped out to center ice by the Kings and back into the Maple Leaf zone. Chipped out there by Carter. 1-0 Kings here in the second period. Kings will be back in action here at Staples on Wednesday night against the New Jersey Devils. And then Saturday night, this coming Saturday, the Rob Blake jersey retirement ceremony. Puck is picked up by the Leafs in deep, and Kings take it away with a body check, but is picked up by Kessel. Kessel on the right side. Getting knocked down there was Richard Panik. And now at the blue line, a save there by Martin Jones on the shot by Jake Gardner. I'll tell you about Saturday night ceremony when we come back. There's going to be another retired number up in the rafters here at Staples Center this Saturday when Rob Blake's jersey is retired, and the ceremony is going to begin at 6:45. So be in your seats around 6:30. Make sure you're there for the start of that ceremony. That's Saturday night. Kings and the Anaheim Ducks, and the jersey retirement of Rob Blake, Hall of Famer. Joining some of the great Kings, Vachon, Dion, Taylor, Gretzky, Robitaille. Right here, the Kings with a 1-0 lead, so a tight defensive battle here tonight, and a face-off to the right side of Martin Jones in the King zone.
Bob, I guess it's time to congratulate Teemu Selanne once again for having his jersey retired last night. Number 8 up in the rafters.
Is it over yet? Puck is picked up now and brought back up to center ice. Williams across the line into the Maple Leaf zone. He got checked there. Puck is cleared back into the King zone. Back to center. Williams chased it down. He moves it ahead. Now across the line. Stoll shoots just wide. Rebound covered up by Jonathan Bernier. Stoll got a lot on that shot, but it was wide to the right.
Well, the Maple Leafs kind of directing the traffic, so to speak, as the attack's coming at him. There's Jonathan. Of course, expecting to see most of the workload. He is seeing most of the workload. And I think earlier in the season, they were a little bit worried he was playing a little bit too much, and that sharpness, those types of things. James Reimer gets a chance to watch tonight here at Staples Center.
Toronto's done a great job in the faceoff tonight. They won 72% of the faceoffs in the first period. They have won 18 faceoffs to the Kings 8, but the Kings get this one. Here's Clifford, shoots, and a save by Bernier.
Well, that line's doing a pretty good job. Again, kind of challenged this morning by Daryl Sutter. Andrioff and Nolan specifically. Not necessarily Clifford. He's done the job lately. Physically dropping their gloves. Western Conference. Top 3 in the Central. Top 3 in the Pacific. Winnipeg. sliding by the Kings. The Kings now occupy the final playoff position in the Western Conference. Still a long, long way to go. Have to sort things out. Like we talked about in the open, Bob, now the Kings kind of have that injury issue going on, the illness. And it's something that's, he was walking with Dean Lombardi for tonight's game, and time is now. Got to get it done.
Colorado coming on, but they got beat tonight, so that's good news for the Kings. Puck sent down in deep, and surprise teams in the league this year so far, Jim, and I'd have to put Winnipeg up there. They're doing a great job there, and of course the New York Islanders, another surprise team.
I'm going to tell Tom Islander, Tom, you said that about his team, a surprise team. Oh, he thinks they're the best in the league.
Yeah, I know he does. Well, he's getting married. He can't think of
judgment yet. That'll be questioned.
Up to center ice here across the line. The puck is offside. Booth brought it across the line, but the Leafs offside on the play.
I found something out, Bob. I learned something yesterday about mononucleosis. And they were talking about it at practice. There's Chris Kingsley, of course, he's the Kings trainer and handles all those situations. Your spleen actually swells up when you get mononucleosis. And the biggest reason that Tyler Toffoli could not play is the potential for rupturing that spleen while it is oversized at this point. So that's the one thing they're going to monitor. If that goes down, of course, you still have fatigue and all those other issues when you have mono, but it's more about the potential for injury because the spleen just gets to a size it should not be.
You know, I remember a playoff game that the Kings got beat in Colorado, and on the way to the airport, we understand Peter Forsberg going to have his spleen removed the next day. And so you never know when that hit might cause some damage to the spleen like that. So here is Gardner across the line in the Kings zone, and Gardner threw it in front and stopped by Jones. Took a crazy little bounce there in front of Jones, and he covered it up.
Now both teams, I'm going to call them the fourth lines, are having a pretty solid game. For the Kings, Clifford, Andrioff, Nolan. For the Leafs, just getting over the line and trying to just wait for some traffic to develop. Now watch how quick the glove, right there if Jones, he gets on top of it. He has to. Otherwise, Trevor Smith is there just to jump on the loose puck. Gardner's known as an offensive defenseman. He takes it down low, runs out of room. If that's one thing the Kings, you see Smith gets a piece of it there, so he did have a whack. One thing the Kings have been doing well, along with a few other things, is just directing that traffic again outside. Keeping it on the outside where everyone knows where the puck is.
Another face-off here in the Kings zone. And on the draw, the Leafs win this one again. Kadri went it back to the blue line, but the Kings take it away. Kopitar moves it ahead, and now down in deep, and a backhander up high and over the net as the Kings had a chance there as Gaborik cut for the net and sent a backhander wide and high, and whistle stops play here, and another face-off coming up.
Gaborik had the speed, and he showed the release on the backhand. Gardner, well, he's trying to out-fake Kopitar, doesn't buy it. Now, is this a scoring chance because it's on the back end? Yeah, you see him zip it right there? He knew exactly how close the defenseman's stick was, and he had to time it. He timed it perfectly. Of course, the timing was there, but the accuracy was not.
Gaborik, 9 goals in the last 11 games for him. He leads the Kings in goals with 13. Now here is Carter. Carter had it just tipped away by Franzen. Carter with it again. Gives it to Kopitar. Leaf zone. Kopitar to the blue line. Protects the puck. His pass is deflected into the corner. Taken by Carter. He gives it to Gaborik. Gaborik checked by Franzen. Kopitar comes by to try and get it. Still a battle for it behind the net. Into the corner. Kopitar gets to it. Kopitar's pass, though, taken away by Van Riemsdyk. And then a clearing pass deflected and taken by Franzen back behind his own net.
That would be an area there where the Leafs would talk to Van Riemsdyk about. And, you know, he's looking to make an offensive play in that situation. Sometimes the best play is just get the puck out and then worry about the other things later. Off the stick of Brown now over the glass. And Cody Franzen, last time the Kings played the Leafs, Bob, he impressed me the most. And tonight, too, now. Turnover not necessarily involving him, but then watch this. Out of position? No. Look at this. Great defense. That's the way you play D nowadays. Franzen's a big guy. He's 6'5", so he has the reach. Use the reach, stick on stick against Jeff Carter.
He's in his 6th year, and the puck is faced off outside the blue line of Toronto. Stoll on the draw, and he wins the draw. Kings drive it into the Maple Leaf zone. Green drove it around the boards, but it comes all the way back into the Kings zone, and Green hustling back to get to it. Green's pass out of the reach of Muzzin. Leafs have it now. sent back behind the net, taken away by Williams. Williams for the Kings. Gets it over to Muzzin. Here's Muzzin along the boards, and his pass out to center ice to Williams. Williams sends it into the Maple Leaf zone, and back in to get it now, down in the corner. A check thrown there, as getting checked was Morgan Riley. Now the puck in front, and almost off the stick there of Santorelli with an open side of the net.
Just sneaked in behind the goaltender.
Now it's tipped up in the air over the net, a centering pass by the Kings. They had good presence in front of the net, but the puck went up high, and it's cleared back to center ice and chased down by Martinez. Martinez and Schultz are back defensively for the Kings. Brown spins away from a check to Williams. Williams throws it in, tipped into the corner by Bernier. Andy Andrioff goes for it. Now here is Clifford. Clifford gets checked along the boards there. Clifford still trying to get free. Gets checked again and knocked down, and the Maple Leafs have it. Back up to center ice. Roman Polak with that check on Clifford, and the puck sent deep in the Kings zone and taken by Doughty. Doughty sends it around the boards. Back to the blue line. Gardner holds it in. Maple Leafs down by a goal, trying to put some pressure on here. Back behind the net, pass up the middle and out to center ice. They just couldn't get to it in time. Richard Panik tried to get a stick on it, couldn't do it.
Again, possession by the Leafs, but no real quality chances. They have 3 shots in this period already. That's what they had in the first.
Now across the line, the puck thrown down in deep, and it comes to the Kings back in their own zone and up to center ice. On the right side, here's Doughty. Doughty, he sent it into Nolan, who was coming down the middle. Now Nolan goes in front of the net, but a pass tipped away, and the Maple Leafs bring it back to center. Across the line, left side, here is Kessel. He passes, and a shot, broken stick again. That one by Tyler Bozak. And the Kings come back, pass up on the right side, into the Maple Leaf zone. Here is Richards. His pass is tipped up over the glass and into the crowd. And when we come back, Patrick O'Neill will be on the bench, and he'll talk with defenseman Brayden McNabb.
Here with Brayden McNabb. Brayden, really good job defensively shutting the Leafs down. Why and what's working the most?
I think just, being hard on their top-end players and moving pucks quick in their own zone just limits their own time.
And Brayden, also you've been paired with Drew Doughty. He had a big hit in the first. You've gotten close. You're next, right?
Yeah, if it's there, I'm going to take it for sure.
All right, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, back to you.
Well, he tried last shift against Robida. Robida just carrying it in, drops it off, thinks he's, just missing him right there. Got a piece enough to make sure Robida's not involved in the play.
We're in the second period with 8:51 to go in the period. The Kings lead it 1-0.
I know the Kings have already allowed 3 shots on goal, again the same amount as they did in the first, but the Kings have much better structure here. They were good in the first, even better in the second.
Now Booth down in the corner along the boards in the Kings zone. He digs it out. He sent it toward the net, poked away by the goaltender Jones. Kings get to it, but can't clear yet. Now Booth again. David Booth, pass in front, wide of Santorelli and taken by the Kings and up to center ice. Here's Lewis. Lewis across the line, drops it back now to Richards. His pass, or backhander, knocked down. Tried to move it in front of the net. Knocked down there and cleared up the left side and picked up now by the Maple Leafs, Morgan Riley. Mentioned before, his number 1 pick, 2012, Riley. Puck comes to him at center ice, and it comes up out of play with 7:59 to go in the second.
Yeah, Riley, a real good-looking player. I talked about him earlier about just the skating ability at only 20 years old. From Vancouver, British Columbia, all the way on the other side of Canada, of course, now with the Maple Leafs. But he says the one thing they're doing right now, they're chipping pucks out, they're making plays in the neutral zone, they're not turning the puck over as much, they're hanging on to it. So all those things you talk about a puck possession game, the Toronto Maple Leafs are starting to come around. And under Horacek, Bob, it's only been a couple games, but Riley's ice time going right through the roof, so big difference there.
Kings trying to clear, they don't. It's held in by Dion Phaneuf. He threw it back behind the net, picked up there now and taken by Daniel Winnick. Leafs trying to even this score here in the second period. They're in the Kings zone, and a pass tipped away and going to be taken by the Kings and cleared by Doughty out to center ice. All the way down the Maple Leaf zone. No icing here. Puck comes into the corner. Gaborik went to get it. Leafs take it away, and they clear it back out to center ice. Pass ahead down the left side to Winnick. Winnick driving in, checked hard by McNabb. Winnick still has it behind the net. Winnick hangs on to it, feeds it back to the blue line. Now taken by Gardner. Gardner sent it into Van Riemsdyk. Back over on the right wing side. Leafs with some pressure on now as Gardner pinches in. Gardner down and deep. He drops it off there. A pass in front and a shot wide to the left side. Into the corner. Shot by Winnick, who was right in front of the net. Winnick again. Now a shot maybe off of the arm of Jones and up out of play.
Best shift by the Leafs.
Yeah.
Just when I was talking about the Kings playing solid D, the Leafs took over there. The Kings kept it on the outside. McNabb does a good job right there. Push and shove and make sure the stick is not an issue. Not McNabb at the Leafs bench. They're a little talking and Winnick going back and forth. But the Maple Leafs, that's the puck possession game they want to get. Another guy who's getting more ice time is Daniel Winnick under Peter Horacek. You know, he's known as a fourth-line guy, third-line penalty killer, but he's been moved up to the top line, kind of a defensive conscience for that line. So a little shifting, a little juggling, a little figuring out things. And new coach, a touch of a new philosophy.
Well, you touched on that philosophy. He wants more puck possession, more presence in front of the net, and you mentioned that earlier, Jim. Puck taken by Williams. Williams pass over down to Martinez with a drive and hits somebody in front of the net. Morgan Riley. Riley comes down the left side now, pass in front and tipped away by Jones and played by the Kings. That was close. Driving to the net. Puck comes all the way back down in the Maple Leaf zone. Down in deep and a hard check there down in the corner as the Kings get back up again and try to pick it up. Here is Brown. He got knocked down. Now taken back behind the net by the Maple Leafs, and Morgan Riley with it again.
Keep an eye on Dustin Brown. He went in awkwardly that first time he fell into the boards. He goes to the bench here. Looks like he's okay. He's going to maybe just shaken up. But he went in hard, and he was down low along the boards.
Here is Williams. Williams sends it over on the left side. Chased in there, and a drive back on the right side comes off the boards and held in by Green. Green threw it around the left side. Muzzin goes for it. He got knocked down. Puck is taken by the Leafs, and they get it back out to center ice. Nazem Kadri drops it back. Here is Gardner. Gardner with a move. Gardner in deep, and a pass in front. Tipped away, and a penalty against the Kings.
Yeah, an easy one to see up here. Gardner with a fake, then a stutter step. Then he found himself with the room, but there was a stick into the hands. Matt Green, guilty party. We come back. Leafs, man advantage coming up. Here with a stutter step fake shot, and see Green goes down. Gets caught, flat-footed, and no question there. Look at that stick under the arm. Gardner right there. See, he takes the hand off the stick, then re-grabs so he can make the move and try to get it on net. So earlier it was interference, now it's hooking. And in a game that's been well played defensively by both teams, these are the moments that really stand out as, you know, the critical moments, the turning points, those types of things. Martin Jones not busy by any means, but the Maple Leafs have been playing better here the last 5 minutes, clock time. And they're spending a lot more time in the offensive zone. Now they have the man advantage.
Well, a chance for them to tie it up here. So here is a critical penalty kill for the Kings. Face off in the Kings zone and Stoll on the draw, but the Maple Leafs get the loose puck back to Dion Phaneuf. Phaneuf feeds it left side. Now here's Kessel. Shoots, save, rebound is cleared. Back out the center and down into the Maple Leaf zone.
There's the collapse timing by Trevor Lewis. Remember last game he collapsed and went off his skate into the net. That time right there. Shot, well set up by the Maple Leafs. Forward for the Kings down low to clear the zone.
Leafs bring it back up to center ice. Kessel moves it off on the right side. Driven down in deep. Kings go for it. Chipped along the boards, but not out. Kessel goes, Van Riemsdyk goes for it again. Put it behind the net. McNabb chasing it down. He gets it to Lewis. Lewis can't clear yet. Puck bounces right in the middle, and then it's cleared all the way down into the Maple Leaf zone.
Want to get those clears all the way down, especially in the second period. Kings get a chance. Yeah, both defensemen change. Good play by McNabb there to make sure it's all the way down.
Now back in the Maple Leaf zone. They bring it up to center with a minute left to go in their power play. Here's Phaneuf. Phaneuf left side. He got hit there, and the puck held in, though, at the blue line by Van Riemsdyk. Drives it around the boards. Off on the right side. Kings trying to get to it, and they do, and it's cleared again back in the Maple Leaf zone.
Dustin Brown with a lot of pressure right there, forcing the Leafs. Leafs don't have time. They can't do anything with the puck.
One shot on this power play for the Maple Leafs. They've got 38 seconds left to go on it. Up to center ice now. Here's Kadri across the line. Threw it on the right side, and the Leafs maintain control of it. Back to the blue line it goes. Toronto on the power play. Here is Gardner. Gardner hanging on, looking for someone down in deep. Clarkson's right in the slot. Pass is tipped up in the air and out to center ice again.
Active sticks get in the way. Forwards helping out. The Leafs now under 10 seconds remaining this man advantage.
Now across the line, Maple Leafs with it, taken away and cleared again, and the Kings have killed it with a strong penalty kill and still lead 1-0. Kings are back at full strength, and here's Green out of the penalty box. Into the Maple Leaf zone. Backhander, saved by Bernier. Into the corner, Richards goes for it. Didn't get it. Maple Leafs have it. Kings back at full strength. Shots are only 12-10 now in the game, but the Kings with a 1-0 lead. McNabb moves it up the right side, and up to center ice is Williams. Williams for the Kings. Throws it in the Maple Leaf zone. Phaneuf goes for it. Kings come around to get it. Here behind the net was Clifford trying to get a stick on it, but the Leafs take it away and get it back to center ice. Picked up by David Booth. Booth throws it into the Kings zone. Down into the corner. Booth going forward there. McNabb got a stick on it to try and break it up. Now it comes over to Doughty. Doughty in the corner. He got hit hard. Puck is taken by Clifford. Clifford trying to clear. And he did, out to center ice. Taken there by Santorelli.
There's a battle you have to win, Clifford against Polak. Polak was right there in a situation where he's pinching down, and two big guys working against each other.
Leafs get it back to Gardner. Gardner shoots. It's blocked, and Doughty goes for it. Doughty couldn't clear it out. Leafs with it again. A shot blocked out to center ice, and out of the goal comes Bernier way out near the top of the circle to tip it away, and then Nolan sends it back into the zone.
Jamie Storr came to mind right there.
Right. Back behind the net, Clifford wraparound. Couldn't jam it in. Picked up now by Kopitar. Here's Kopitar with it. Now along the boards, Kings still have it. Clifford to Kopitar. Kopitar knocked down there, and Jake Gardner has it for the Maple Leafs. Back they come to center. Here's Kessel driving and taken away nicely by the Kings as it was picked up there and cleared back out to center ice by Martinez. Now here's Gaborik. His shot wide to the left. Kessel goes for it. Puck is cleared back out to center ice. And it is taken there by the Kings for a moment, but it rolled away. Tyler Bozak had it, and the Kings took it away and threw it in deep. It was Gaborik. Leafs with it. Shot up high and knocked down there. Rebound comes off on the right wing side. Leafs have it, and a hard check into the boards in the corner. Play continues. Puck is picked up now by Muzzin.
It was Muzzin against Panik. And Muzzin talked to him yesterday at practice, said that's where it starts for him. Got to play physical.
Here's Carter on the right wing. He shoots, and it's knocked wide and all the way to the blue line to Bozak. He got checked right in front of the Kings. Picked up though by the Leafs. Down in deep end, Riemsdyk shoots. Knocked down in front, save made. Bozak with it. Bozak throws it into the corner. Now it comes back to the left point. Frantic finish to this second period. Less than a minute to go. There's a shot by Van Riemsdyk. Tipped back behind the net. Van Riemsdyk with it again. He's got 19 goals on the year. Puck comes back to the blue line. Taken there and dropped off now to Bozak. His shot is up high and out of play with 32.2 seconds to go.
Yeah, Leafs real good on the forecheck. Muzzin had the hard hit. Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Boys and Girls Clubs help young people to reach their full potential as productive, caring, and responsible citizens through programs that promote character and leadership, education, healthy lifestyles, and more. For more information, visit foxsportsupports.com. And when Bernier came out of that bomb, he mentioned Jamie Storr. Looked like him a little bit, but Rob Stauber was the guy I always thinking of. I got it right.
He'd come out and throw a body check.
That's right.
Going for the puck.
There you go.
Final score in the College National Championship game. Ohio State 42, Oregon 20, and boy, the Big Ten needed that. I'm a Big Ten guy. Congratulations to the Buckeyes.
I can't believe my Buckeyes do it. Wow.
Boy, and they played a strong game, I'll tell you that. I think that surprises a lot of people, but boy, the Big Ten, they've been maligned, and they really needed that. Kings with it. Here's Richards. He shoots wide off the boards and back out to center.
Van Riemsdyk had the best chance for the Leafs, stopped by Jones. That time, that was the best chance for the Kings, 2-on-1. And Richards just misses on the shot. Getting more chances. That's what the Kings need. So kind of a slower paced second period. A lot of chess match back and forth between the teams, but then the Leafs come on at the end. The Kings almost have a chance. Kings still have that 1-0 lead.
Well, the shots for the Kings in that period, 6. They have a total of 13. For the Maple Leafs, they get 8. They have a total of 11. Well, we're going to go surfing when we come back with the Kings Front Office Surf Club. We'll bring you up to date on that when we return. 1-0 Kings.
Welcome back, Staples Center. 1-0 Kings after 2 periods of play right now. Downstairs, Davis Payne behind the bench. Davis, kind of a controlled game from both teams. Is that what you're seeing down there?
Well, it looks like they want to get loose and get going north. They play a little bit of a stretch game here, and when we're on our game checking, it kind of seems like it is a territorial matchup, and we want to continue to control that territory, control the good ice, and eventually play down in their end.
Big kill there at the end of the second. What happened on the ice that went well for the Kings?
Well, I think we did a real good job up ice. Our killers never allowed them into the zone with any sort of clean possession, and that puts us in a situation where we can get to that puck, get first, and get it down the ice. Great job there.
Yeah, no doubt. Good point, Davis, right there. You never give that team, especially Toronto, a team that can skate so well. If they get that time, they'll set it up.
Nazem Kadri wins the faceoff for Toronto to start the third period. He's won 79% of the faceoffs that he's taken here in this game tonight to lead both teams. Puck comes down into the corner, into the Kings zone. Kings with a 1-0 lead, and the puck comes to the blue line to Phaneuf, and he holds it in and drives it around the boards. Can the Kings get to it along the boards? It is chopped out to center by Gabrick with a nice play. The Kings change on the fly as the Maple Leafs. Phaneuf fell down at the blue line, but he got the puck up ahead and into the Kings zone, but taken away by Martinez. Now Martinez pass deflects back over to Schultz. His pass up to center ice, and the Maple Leafs take it away. The Kings, when they lead after 2 periods, 13-1-2. And they lead here 1-0. Starting the third. Puck comes over left side. A shot hit a skate and came wide to the left. The shot from the left side by Richard Panik now in front. And diving is Jones to knock it down. And the Kings pick up the loose puck. They get it up ahead to center ice. The crowd roaring on that save by Jones. Puck taken in and a backhander and stopped by Bernier at the other end of the ice.
You got to take advantage of bounces. I believe, Bob, the puck hit the skate of the linesman on the initial entry. And from that point on, then the Leafs had chances. So the Leafs try to go up the near boards there. And it goes in behind, and it just caroms right there off, into the middle. And now the first chance. The second chance will come a little bit later. That's the best chance for the Maple Leafs as they follow it up with Kessel. And once again, 2 shots right from the middle. Another putback, and Martin Jones very active right there to find that loose puck. And we talked about tracking with Jonathan Quick. Right there was Martin Jones finding it, not the first time, not the second time, but the third time too.
That was Bozak that came flying right by in front of Jones trying to tip it in. Leafs come back again, but it's taken away by Muzzin. Muzzin up ahead to center ice. Picked up now by Williams. Williams across the line. Williams right side. He threw it down into the corner. Gets it back again. He shoots. It's deflected up out of play.
Bob, tonight on Fox Sports Live, National Championship game isn't the only big matchup this night. We catch up on the latest action, NBA, NHL, plus our NFL rules guru, that's Mike Pereira, clears up the confusion surrounding the Des Bryant play yesterday when my Packers beat Bob's Cowboys. And yes, you've got a full hour of exclusive post-game coverage. Oregon, Ohio State, Fox Sports Live, Fox Sports 1, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Well, Martin Jones, he's in his 10th game of the year. He's 3-3-2, and so far the Kings with a 1-0 lead.
Bob, if I can send out just a thank you and an accolade to Howie Long for the post-game coverage, asking the questions I was asking too about the rule that went wrong.
In front, a pass over on the left wing side and held in by Van Riemsdyk. He gets it back along the boards, and the Leafs have it in the Kings zone once again. Picked up there by Kadri. His shot just deflected wide. The Leafs with some pressure on here now. Taken again. And here is Van Riemsdyk. He shoots up high, and it's gloved by Jones.
Yeah, the Leafs taking over with that puck possession game they want to play. They're trying to become that team. And in the latter part of the second and here into the third, they're doing that. Again, that play, Bob, in the game yesterday between the Packers and the Cowboys. And, after all of this guy sent the rule that went wrong. It went wrong in my eyes. But Mr. Pereira, and Howie Long, they asked appropriate questions. They got it down, explained the rule, and very helpful to me and to a lot of people who felt it was possession, those types of things. It's a hockey game here, but you've got to control that ball all the way down to the ground.
Bozak on the draw, but the Kings win the face-off there as Kopitar wins the draw. The Kings get it up to center to Gabrick. Here's Gabrick on the left wing. Little stutter step. Gabrick still with it. Tried to feed it up the middle to Muzzin, who was tipped away all the way back in the Kings zone and chased down now by Kessel. Phil Kessel, sharp angle, and his pass knocked right back to him. Now up the middle, a rebound in front, and a save by Jones. Still a loose puck. Taken behind the net, but out of the reach of Kessel, and the Kings move it along the boards, and a penalty coming up here. And Kopitar gets hit with a puck.
And they want to kick Chris Kingsley as quick as possible. The referee was going, and Kopitar is, it might be, taking a guess here. Remember earlier in the season he got hit with a stick in the ear. And I'm just hoping that's what it is, because that would be the least thing to worry about. Of course, when he wears a full visor there, so you see that. He has the helmet on. He's got the protection. The communication is there right now. And of course, you see in behind, you have I assume it's a doctor walking onto the ice, and to make sure everything's going to be okay. I didn't see any blood initially, so that's why I thought maybe it clipped him on the side. And he's going to go off again. When he was clipped on the ear earlier, Bob, by the high stick, I think it was Pavelski of the San Jose Sharks, and he split him open. But he also said, of course, your ears, where you have balance and all those types of things. He said, you know, he was a little bit dizzy for a while. It went away very quickly. So let you know, it could be the side of the face, could be the jaw too, which would be extremely painful. Phaneuf just shoots it as soon as he gets it. Kopitar, you see him turn his head at the last second? And that's why I thought it didn't get him square on in the face. And I'm thinking side, jaw, ear. So Kopitar now is underneath, and he's back there. Now slashing is a call preceding that against Phil Kessel. So the Kings get a chance here, man advantage, but the biggest concern is Kopitar.
Maple Leafs have it back up to center ice. Here across the line now and down the middle, and poke checked away into the corner by Muzzin, who got his stick on it to poke it away from Polak. And the Kings start back out on the power play, trying to get a little breathing room here. They have a 1-0 lead. Here is Doughty across the line. Doughty in the slot and taken away and cleared out to center ice. Cleared there by Trevor Smith. So all of a sudden, illness, injuries starting to crop up here in the last several days for the Kings. Puck thrown back in deep into the Toronto zone. Franzen cleared it all the way back into the Kings zone. So the Leafs, so far, not giving the Kings anything on this power play, which now has 1:07 to go on it. Pass up ahead to center ice. Kings with it. Left side. Here is Dwight King. King driving, trying to get around Franzen. Franzen stays with him. King in the corner, gives it to Richards. Richards pushed down, gets it back to King. King turns, shoots, and a rebound comes up the middle and cleared by the Maple Leafs, Santorelli.
Nice job there of supporting the play with Richards, then the King. King takes it to the middle, but as you've been mentioning, Bob, of course, the Kings have to go through this one without Andrei Kopitar, so a few adjustments you have to make in personnel.
Here's Dwight King, drops it back to Martinez, left point, now into King, behind the net, sends it around the boards, right side, now Brown with it. Brown's pass deflected back out to center ice and taken by Martinez.
Because of the momentum the Maple Leafs had before the penalty that Kessel took, you want something to get going here. You want it to get going, maybe turn that momentum around. Kopitar is now back on the bench.
Kings with one shot on this power play. Puck comes down into the right wing boards. Held in by the Kings there, but a pass taken away and cleared again. And the Maple Leafs now with only 5 seconds left in their penalty, they're going to kill this one. And the Kings are still going to have a 1-0 lead. Up to center ice. Here's Doughty. Pulls up. Passes on the right side. A shot is wide to the left and rebound off the boards all the way back to center. Kings have to hustle back to get it. And it is taken down in deep as Nolan got back to get body position and get to the puck.
Yeah, you had to get the legs moving first. You can't lean into a guy if you're not ahead of him. But once you're ahead of him, you can lean in. Kopitar back on the ice, and the fans react.
And puck is taken by, who's going to get it? Shot by Kadri and a save. The Leafs got to the loose puck. Now behind the net, Winnick. Winnick goes for it. He gets checked by McNabb.
And the Leafs feel it, Bob. You can tell. They're just urgency right now.
Kadri back to the blue line. Shot poked out to center ice on the rebound by Jordan Nolan. Kings get it back over to Nazem, or the Leafs get it back to Nazem Kadri, and an offside called here. Let's get an update on that man. He's back out on the ice, but he got hit with a shot. Let's go to Patrick O'Neill.
Yeah, Bob, just real quick, I was down outside the dressing room. Anže actually didn't want to go in the dressing room. He wanted to get right back out on the ice. He was communicating right away. Chris Kingsley said, no, I just want to talk to you real quick. And as you saw, it didn't take long to him to get out here and hear that big applause.
Well, you saw his mom and dad right there. His mom was on the phone. I don't think she was talking to Anže unless he's got a phone in his helmet.
He's got an earpiece there, yeah. You know, calling plays down there on the ice and trying to figure it out.
Well, I'm sure they're relieved.
Injuries, illnesses, all those types of things. I know I've talked to a few people in the last few days, Bob, saying a black cloud surrounding the Kings this season.
Now a shot by Schultz is deflected down into the corner of the Maple Leaf zone, and the Leafs get to it. Daniel Winnick moves it off on the left. We're in the third period. The Kings have a 1-0 lead. Kopitar got the only goal of the game so far, 37 seconds into the first period. Kopitar from Doughty and Carter. Now the puck taken by the Leafs. Dion Phaneuf. He drives it around the boards in the Kings zone. Picked up on the right side by Clarkson. His pass comes around to the Kings, and Carter gives it to Kopitar up ahead to Gabrick. Here's Gabrick, 1 against 2. Gabrick into the Leaf zone, shoots, and a save by Bernier.
And he didn't know where the rebound went. Very quick feet, very quick hands by Gabrick, changing the angle, and a quick shot.
Leafs back again, right side, shot from there, saved by Jones, and he reached out to pull the puck in and get the whistle.
He had to scoop it with the webbing of his glove right there, so both goaltenders let a rebound get away. Bernier doesn't hold on, Jones does.
Back on Patrick O'Neill and more like Kings hockey here tonight, leading the Leafs 1-0. Time for the Carl's Jr. Sports Update. Little mid-season Norris tracker. Drew Doughty, Duncan Keith, Mark Giordano, all having great years. The plus-minus, and this is coming into tonight. Doughty is even on the season, so he trails in that. But let's remember, his even-strength minutes are more than anyone. His Corsi 4 is second among all NHL defensemen. And he is always, Jim, always playing versus the best players in the league, in particular this year due to the injuries.
He loves it. He loves being out there. He loves that challenge. It used to be when he came to the league, he was so mobile, everyone thought about offense. Now he loves that defense too.
Leafs win the face-off of the Kings zone. Sent down on the left wing side and played down in the corner now, picked up by Panik. Taken away, but not cleared out. Right side, here is a pass down in deep behind the net. Doughty gets a stick on it. And Williams got a stick on it for the Kings and poked it up to the blue line. It's cleared out to center. Leafs have it again. Back they come into the Kings zone. Kings with a 1-0 lead here in the third period.
And they need some offensive zone time here. It's all Leafs now.
Leafs have it again down the right wing side. Now taken away, and it is cleared to the blue line, but not out. Leafs have it again. Get it on the right side. Looking for someone to move it to. Picked up there, cleared though away from Morgan Riley back into the Maple Leaf zone, icing against the Kings.
Toyota game analysis right now. Anže Kopitar early on, 37 seconds, 1-0 Kings. Jones not too busy, but more busy of late. The Kings 7-game homestand, got to get it going here. And they're looking for the 2 points, and right now the Leafs are playing exactly the way they have to. They're pressing, they're forcing, they're getting 5 men involved in the cycle in the offensive zone, and the Kings right now are spending a lot of time defending.
Kings have had 12 blocked shots in the game to 6 for the Maple Leafs. Face-off in the Kings zone again, and we've mentioned the Leafs have done a great job on the face-off. This time they drop it unfairly, and they'll do it again.
And it's Kadri in there right now against Stoll, the man you were talking about. Looks like Kadri's going to go out. He's going to get kicked out. Stoll's going to stay in.
Ready to go on the face-off here. Stoll has won 64% of his face-offs, and he gets this one, and it comes up now to Williams, but he didn't clear it out. Santorelli held it in. Williams with it again. This time he gets it high in the air and back into the Maple Leaf zone. Taken there and a long pass to the King zone. Picked up and now down in deep. A backhander save. Rebound. Save again by Jones, who gets run over and knocked down. Puck comes back to the right point. Jones is back in front of the net. And he doesn't have his stick, and offside called against the Maple Leafs.
So a collision, obviously. And the Leafs had maybe, I keep saying it, their best chance of the period. They started saying that back in the second. Mike Richards enjoying things down there, but the Leafs on the rebound See that backhand by Winnick? That was a rebound setup chance. And Jones gets a stick on it, along with Richards. Now, with the contact made after the play, you'd have to wonder if it goes in after that, maybe they'd call that incidental contact, because it was just two guys coming together. But the play did continue, and the Kings keep it out. Martin Jones holding on.
Now the Leafs back up to center ice. And now the Kings at one time had a wide margin in shots on goal. Now the Leafs have more shots than the Kings, 17-16. Here's Cody Franzen. Go Kings go. The chant here at Staples Center. Pass up to center and down deep into the Kings zone. And picked up by Jeff Schultz. Checked and double team behind the net, but he got away from it. Pass up the right side, and it comes back on the right side and cleared back out to center.
Phaneuf just missed. He got a big piece, but just missed Lewis. So everyone picking it up, and that's what the Leafs are doing. They're pinching defense. They're having 5 men involved in the offensive zone. They want that tire.
Here's Santorelli for the Maple Leafs. His pass knocked down out of midair by McNabb and picked up by Clifford. Clifford checked into the boards on the left wing. He got hit by Roman Polak. Puck comes around to the Kings. Maple Leaf zone. Here's Doughty. Doughty is shot deflected wide. Picked up now by Andy Andrioff. Back to Doughty at the blue line. Doughty cuts behind a man. Drops it back now to Clifford. It was Clifford. He cut behind. He shoots, and it's just wide off the boards. Puck is cleared to center ice and thrown by McNabb right back into the Maple Leaf zone.
Kings fourth line gets a little chance there. Good offensive zone time.
Kessel, their leading scorer, got it to the blue line. Now in deep and just out of the reach of Kessel as he came down the middle. And Doughty spins away from a check. Gets it up to center ice. Kings drive it down deep into the Maple Leaf zone. Roman Polak used to be with St. Louis. He picks it up there. Polak along the boards. Chipped it out to center ice. Taken there, and Richard Panik fires it back behind the King net. Kings back in to get it. Here up to center ice is Muzzin. Gives it over now to Gabrick. Gabrick sent it into Kopitar. Kopitar in the corner. Put it back behind the net. Tried to pass to Gabrick in front, but it was tipped away. And the Maple Leafs back up to center. Daniel Winnick drives it deep into the Kings zone. Winnick goes for it himself. He gets checked there. Kings dig it out, and they get it up ahead to Kopitar at center. Here's Kopitar to the blue line. Kopitar offside. Go the Kings. Carter came down the middle, but offside. Kings.
Yeah, a little bit better than the last 2 shifts for the Kings. They talk about dancers all the time. Watch Drew Doughty. He's a dancer. Pressure the first time doesn't work. Pressure the second time doesn't. Look at the little spin right here. Then when he makes the pass, watch this. Kind of like a second baseman. You got to get out of the way there on the double play. Jumps out of the way. Panik goes underneath. And Doughty moving the puck. So it's only been 2 shifts in a row, but it's just something to build on for the Kings. That fourth line started it with offensive zone time. And that's what the Kings are looking for right now. A little discussion over at the Leafs bench with the referee Mark Jonette. They get things sorted out. The chance for the Kings to get back on the forecheck.
Remember Denny Savard with the Savardian Spinorama. He was an exciting player to watch. Puck taken by the Leafs, back behind their own net. Exactly, or just a couple of seconds under 10 minutes left to go here in the third period. Puck rolls all the way down, stopped there by Jones. Kings with it, and it is cleared by Brown out to center ice. Maple Leafs with it again. Tipped away by the stick of Williams. Williams in the Maple Leaf zone. Williams behind the net, looking for somebody. Still has it. Got checked from behind. Still has the puck. Williams on his stick. Tried to throw it in the corner there to Schultz. Now to Williams. Williams moving in. Shoots. Save Bernier. And the puck taken by the Maple Leafs and cleared into the Kings zone and chased down there. Maple Leafs change on the fly. Kings quickly get it to the blue line, and Williams throws it deep into the Maple Leaf zone. Dwight King going for it there. Gets help from Richards. Richards gets checked. Kings try to hold it in. They do. Nice play. Here's McNabb. He shoots, and it's just wide to the right. Puck comes back up to center, and Doughty back to try and get it. Comes in deep, and getting back was McNabb with a long reach, and he got it to Doughty. Back up to center ice to Richards. Here's Richards on the left side. He throws it in deep. Chased behind the net now by the Leafs, and they have control of it. Back up to the blue line and up to center ice. And a hard check there by McNabb.
I can see that one coming for about 50 feet.
And we have a icing call here. No, we don't. I thought the run referee was signaling icing. Come up to center ice. Kings with it. Andrioff shoots wide. Rebound. Andrioff again. Andrioff back to the blue line. Kings hold it in. right on the line. Fired down in deep behind the net by Martinez.
Much better here for the Kings. Much better. More time with the puck, more attack.
Now the Leafs into the King zone. Poke checked away there and played by Andrioff. Andrioff gets it back out to center ice. Now the Leafs have it again. 8 minutes left to go in the third. Leafs with it. Here's Kessel across the line. They stay on side. Kessel into the corner. Tipped away and up over the glass. And a penalty coming up against Jeff Schultz.
Yeah, he turned. He looked. He thought he had to play, but the flip was a little too high over the glass. Slowly to the box. We come back. The Leafs. Man advantage coming up. Jeff Schultz, delay a game. The automatic call. A lot of people debate that rule that was put in a while ago now, but it is the best way to make things consistent. Otherwise, you have referees trying to guess, trying to determine the intention of a player. Sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong. This way, as long as they can all see that it goes over, it's an automatic call, and you're more consistent that way.
Well, the Maple Leafs are 0 for 2 with 3 shots on the power play, and they've got a chance to tie the game here. The dance cam is out at Staples Center tonight. 144th consecutive sellout for the Kings. Face-off now as Bozak on the draw against Kopitar, who's got it. Loose puck cleared by the Kings. Out to center. Brown got his stick on it and cleared it. So the Maple Leafs back into their own zone, and here's Dion Phaneuf. Up to center ice. Pass on the right side. Bozak drives it into the King zone. Green goes for it, gives it to Doughty. Doughty behind the net, sends it out to the left point, but not out. Now Franzen, he lost it there. Kings with it, and it is cleared back in the Maple Leaf zone. Cleared by Kopitar.
This is an area, Bob, where Doughty gets more of that ice time. He was paired that first part there along with Matt Green, so he's on the bench right now, but those critical moments, those specialty team moments, Drew Doughty get in the ice time.
Leafs get it to Kessel. Kessel on the right side. Up the middle. A shot by Bozak is wide to the right. Rebound. Kings with it. Can they clear? Not yet. Now, nice play by Lewis to get the puck, and he gets it to Stoll, and he drives it into the Maple Leaf zone.
Another contact, I think, by Braden McNabb, Bob, back in the lineup, making an impact in more than one way.
56 seconds to go in the King penalty. Leafs bring it to center ice. Pass on the right side. Clarkson gets hit there by McNabb. Puck comes around the boards, left side, and held in now. Here is Kadri. Put it down toward the back of the net. Panik had it on his stick. Leafs set up the power play in the King zone. Here's Richard Panik again, pinned against the boards by Martinez. Puck is taken by Kadri. Back to the right corner, and Clarkson gets to it. He sends it up the left side and out to center ice. It bounced out to center, and the Leafs have to go back and get it. Bounced away from Morgan Riley. Now Riley again, left side, King zone, down in deep, sends it around the boards over to Tyler Bozak. Bozak checked from behind, and the Kings clear it again. Down into the Maple Leaf zone.
Davis Payne talked about before this period, Bob, it was more up ice, but here the forwards are still very aggressive, but near the blue lines, the Kings pressuring the Leafs.
Kings are back at full strength. Now across the line, Clarkson, and he got hit there by Doughty. Puck comes into the corner. Kings have it. Williams with it. He cleared it out to center ice and into the Maple Leaf zone. Kings change on the fly. 5:35 left to go in the third. 1-0 Kings. Puck taken by Polak. Polak up to center, sends it into the King zone. Jones tipped it behind the net. Kings moving around the boards, and here is Brown getting it out to center ice. Taken away by Roman Polak. Now the Leafs flip it high in the air into the King zone again. The Kings back in to get it. Pass off the boards. Still a battle for it now. Puck into the corner and sent behind the net by Muzzin. Picked up there by Martinez and up the right side. Kings come to center. Here's Kopitar across the line. Kopitar to Brown. He shoots and just deflected wide. Kopitar goes for it again. Kopitar put it down into Williams. Williams in the corner. Taken away by the Maple Leafs. Kings try to get it back at left point. Long reach there by McNabb. Holds it in. Now down into Brown. Here's Brown. Pushed from behind. Trying to spin away. Gets a backhand pass along the boards. And the puck taken by Kopitar. He shoots and just deflected wide to the left, and the Maple Leafs go for it. Going to be picked up by David Booth.
That's more like it. The Leafs are getting chances, but the Kings now getting chances too. That's a big difference from the first 10 minutes of this period.
Here's another spinorama by Doughty. Put the brakes on and spins to get away from a check. Gets it off on the right side. Puck sent into the zone, Maple Leaf zone. Picked up on the left side and sent behind the net. Clifford had been knocked down to his knees. Dion Phaneuf goes for it for the Maple Leafs. Puck taken now and sent back into the corner again of the Maple Leaf zone. Coming down to 4 minutes left to go here in the third period. 1-0 Kings. Phaneuf behind his own net. Now sends it up the right side, and Kessel gets it out to center ice. Overskated for a moment there by Richard Panik. Then he throws it back behind the King net. Jones cuts it off there. Pass up ahead to center. With some speed on the left side. Here's Gabrick. Gabrick in deep. Gabrick checked hard by Polak and knocked down. Kings try to get to it behind the net. Still a battle there. Gabrick has 12 goals and 5 assists in his last 10 games against Toronto coming into this game. Still a battle along the boards as the time keeps clicking down. No whistle yet. Now the Leafs dig it out. Back up ahead to center ice. And it is tipped to the King line and chased down in deep here on the left side. Loose puck. Kings get to it and are going to be able to clear it up to center ice. Fired in and wide of the net. Comes over to Dwight King. King on the left wing boards. Kopitar is back on the ice again now for the Kings. Sends it back in deep, and Gardner gave it away to Williams. Williams pass broken up and cleared to center, but the Kings have it again, and here's Doughty. Long shot, stick save by Bernier. 2:40 to go in the third period. Kings with a 1-0 lead.
And so far, Daryl Sutter has stayed with Drew Doughty, and Braden McNabb has not gone back to Muzzin.
Kings break it up. Here's McNabb in the corner. McNabb's pass out to center ice, and this is going to be an icing call against the Kings. So now 2:23 to go in regulation. 1-0 Kings face off in the Kings zone.
You can play on the ice with some of your favorite LA Kings alumni legends. 2015 LA Kings Fantasy Camp, March 11th through 14th. Toyota Sports Center, Staples Center. Don't miss the opportunity to skate with the old guys. Register at LAKings.com/fantasycamp.
After 2 periods in the hits, the Kings had 35, Toronto 22. Kings led by Green with 5 and Brown with 4. That was at the end of 2. Kings will be home here Wednesday night, the New Jersey Devils. Now a shot, 6 save made there by Jones, and the Kings get to it, and Williams gets it up ahead to center ice. Here's Brown driving it across the blue line, goes for it again. Brown against the left wing boards. His pass up the middle, taken away as tried to get it to Stoll. Stoll fights for it. Stoll gets checked, but the Kings send it in deep. 2 minutes left to go in regulation. 1-0 Kings. Maple Leafs have it. Send it up ahead to center ice. Kings break it up there, and the loose puck, who's got it? Richards. Richards gets it over on the right wing side. Taken down in there by Lewis. He gets knocked down, or by Brown. He got knocked down. Puck along the board. Still a battle there. Booth is there for the Maple Leafs. Phaneuf is there. Kings trying to hold it in, but the Leafs get to it and clear it to the blue line. Poked away there for a moment from Santorelli by Martinez, and the Kings have it again. Now the Leafs pick it up. Right side, Gardner, King's zone, shoots, and a save by Jones. They pull the goaltender. The Leafs net is wide open. Puck taken by Gardner in the corner. Kings trying to get a shot at the empty net, and they get it out to center ice. They've had empty nets to shoot at lately, Jim, but never could really get a good opportunity. Can they get one here tonight? They may have it here. Pass right side, in deep in front, and score! Gabrick into the empty net, and the Kings lead 2-0.
The Kings really worked hard defensively there. And I know it ends up in a pretty play at the goal, but on the back, look at the Kings get back. And then it's Doughty that clears it. From this point on, the Leafs should get it, at least get it in the zone. Look at the pressure. Jeff Carter takes the angle, strips the puck. Watch Kopitar here. 2 men have to go to him. I mean, you got an empty net. And Marion Gabbard just hangs in behind. But on that initial dump-in, the Kings really sorted things out well. They went to their positions. They helped out and helped out each other. Forwards and D. Empty net goal. Kings lead 2-0.
It came with 1 minute to go in the period. Now the Leafs send it in as Kadri had it. Now behind the net, here's Gardner. The net is empty again at the other end of the ice. The goaltender, Bernier, came back in for the faceoff. Then he left when the Leafs got in the Kings zone. Now the Leafs, a shot is wide to the right wing side. Picked up now along the boards. Kings trying to clear. King trying to get his stick on it, and he did. He got it out to center ice. Kopitar and Carter get the assists on the goal at the 1 minute mark. Now a shot just wide of the empty net. Picked up now by Williams. 17 seconds left to go here in this third period. Kings with a 2-0 lead. Kopitar in to get it. 9 seconds to go. The Kings are going to break a 3-game losing streak. They're going to get the victory here tonight. And a shutout for Martin Jones. The game is over. Jones gets his second career shutout against the Maple Leafs. Or excuse me, he gets his first against the Maple Leafs. Well, let me go back and correct that. I'm looking all over here. Jones with his second career against his first against the Maple Leafs. Kind of a crazy ending here. 7th shutout of his career. 3rd this season.
And then he gets the Land Rover Player of the Game. Kopitar was so strong with that first goal, 37 seconds in. The great assist on the empty netter. But what did the Kings need? They need to settle down defensively. They get the shutout, and Jones gets it. 2-0 Kings.
So the Kings get a big victory here, and we're going to have the 3 stars in the game. Dave Joseph.
And it's time to announce the Staples 3 stars of the game. Tonight, Staples' 3rd star from your Kings with a goal and an assist. Number 11, Ajay Kopitar. Tonight, Staples' 2nd star from your Kings, making 19 saves for the shutout. Number 31, Martin Jones. And the Staples' 1st star from your Kings with an assist, number 8, Drew Doughty. Please turn your attention to the Kings bench as Drew Doughty joins Fox Sports West, Alex Curry. Alex.
Drew, you guys were able to come out, get that strong start, take an early lead, and then hold it for a full 60 minutes tonight. What was the biggest difference you saw out on the ice?
We play better defense. That's the way the Kings win hockey games. We play good defense, and tonight we only held them to 19, 20 shots, and it was a good game.
Speaking of that defense, you guys completely shut them down offensively, like you said. How would you assess the team's full effort defensively?
Everyone played well. Everyone was blocking shots. Everyone was checking. Everyone was hard on the forecheck, good in the D zone. Our forwards need to play good defense too, and obviously we need a good goalie. And Jonah played great tonight.
Congratulations on a great win.
Thanks.
Patrick, back out to you.